Good morning, friends. Welcome to the February mid-month book bash vlog. So it's Friday morning. It's just about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought I would start this vlog and just let you know what I'm going to be up to this weekend. So very first things first, I need to announce a very exciting development in my reading life. Let me switch you around here. So I have recently become the proud owner of a book cart. Yay! So excited. Like, this thing has revolutionized my organizational skills. So on the top shelf, you're looking at my TBR for February. Middle shelf right now is just like my notebook and my tabs and my pens and my all that stuff for taking notes. And then on the bottom is stuff that I've finished so far this month. Now, the middle shelf will be for new books in, once or if I get any new books in this month. But so far, so good. I haven't brought any new books in yet. So let's talk about what I'll be reading this weekend for mid-month book bash. These books here on the end are the ones that I'm currently working on. So I will be working on a romance novel, the next Bridgerton series book that I have to read. I will be working on, oops, sorry, that's no good, The Color of Law. That's a buddy read with Britta Bowler. I am working on Daddy by Emma Cline. I gotta learn how to run this camera and talk to you. That's a buddy read with Sean. I'll only be reading one story in that one. And then this one, apologize for the shiny cover. This is American Wife by Curtis Sittenfeld. So that is currently on the go. I will also be starting the Barack Obama, because I have broken that bad boy up into a schedule so that I can get it finished by the end of March. And I am also listening to Intimations by Zadie Smith on audiobook. So that's what I'm currently working on. I'm gonna be working on that this whole weekend. So I don't have very much going on. My husband is actually away on a snowmobiling trip, so that's good for my reading. I do have a busy work day today, so I won't be getting much reading done today during the day. And then I'm babysitting my grandson for a few hours this afternoon, and going out for Chinese with my daughter tonight. Well, not going out, going to get takeout. But it requires me driving 30 minutes to get it. So yeah, that will be happening as well. So I will be bringing you along for the ride. It's Saturday, so it's day 2 of mid-month book bash, and I have been reading up a storm yesterday. I actually finished 2 books yesterday. I finished Intimations by Zadie Smith, which I was reading for the BookTube prize, so I can't talk about that, but I listened to it on audio, and I finished that yesterday. And then I also finished this romance novel, On the Way to the Wedding, which is book 8 in the Bridgerton series, I think, the last book in the original Bridgerton series. So, and yeah, I love this one. This was such a good one. I did not remember the story at all, and it started off kind of slow, and I was feeling like, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of over the Bridgertons, but no. By, like a third of the way in, the story picked up, and I really loved the last half of this book. I think this one, more than any of the others, really explores young love and, this whole concept of love at first sight and whether or not that's a real thing or whether it's something you should even want to have happen to you. And I really enjoyed that discussion in this book. And there's lots of interactions with the Bridgerton siblings and Mrs. Bridgerton, Lady Bridgerton, and other supporting characters. There's a great friendship in here between our heroine, Lucy, and her best friend, Hermione, which in the end is just delightful. So yeah, this was great. And this, I forgot to show you yesterday my bullet journal spread for the mid-month book bash. So I'm going to turn you around and show that to you. Okay, so this is my spread here for the mid-month book bash, and Doris has delightfully created this bingo card, which you can see I have already gotten filled in the spaces for Love Round and chocolate, of course. Last night I had some peanut butter cup ice cream, which was very yummy, and then another readathon. And so I'm cheating a little bit and considering my BookTube prize reading for another readathon. So this time I wanted to focus on, rather than hours read, I wanted to focus on page count, how many pages I read, because I'm reading so many books this weekend for BookTube prize and buddy reads and different things, and I may not be completing very many books, but I am going to be certainly reading lots of pages. So I've set up this tracker for how many pages I read in 50-page increments, and you can see I've already read 250 pages so far. And this chart up here is my pages read per book, and these are all the books that I am reading this weekend, which is just crazy, typical me being very ambitious and having so many books on the go. So I'm excited about that. The book that I have been stuck into this morning is American Wife. Sorry for the shiny cover. This is an ex-library cover that I got at a library used book sale. And yeah, this is just a great novel to read, especially if you don't want anything too heavy, or if you're reading some heavy nonfiction as I am, this is a good book to mix in because it's such an easy novel to read and it's so engaging. So yeah, I'm hoping, I am only about 200 pages into it at this point, but I plan to finish this weekend, and this is a chunky novel, but I plan to finish this weekend on top of the other reading that I'm doing, so we shall see. Let's see what's in here. Oh, mail. Something from Doris. And the New Atlantic. Very exciting. Look, and a magazine from my alma mater. Very exciting. Look at this delightful book mail from Doris. The printed bingo card, so cute. And these Valentine stickers. Oh my God, adorable. Thank you, Doris. Forgot to mention when showing you guys my bullet journal page yesterday, today is Sunday, by the way, that my goal for the mid-month book bash is to read 1,200 pages. So I'm doing pretty good. It's Sunday morning and I'm over halfway. I think 1,200 is a bit of a stretch really for me for 4 days, but maybe we can get there. So let's see. So I just figured I'd better check in with what I finished on Saturday. So on Saturday, I did finish American Wife, and sorry for the glare. This is an ex-library copy, so it's got that shiny plastic cover on it. But this is a novel that is a fictionalization of Laura Bush's life. So her childhood, before she meets George W. Bush. And of course, that's not the names that are used in here. They're slightly, the names are different. The geography is slightly different. This is a family in Wisconsin, I think. Is it Wisconsin? I think it's Wisconsin. And his family is like, they own meat packing plants, meat distribution stuff. And this younger sort of ne'er-do-well son has political aspirations. She comes from a more liberal, small family. She's an only child. And it tells her story of like her childhood and then meeting this young man from a wealthy family when she's older and already started her career, and then like falling in love with him and then making a life with him, and what that means to a person, what you live with and what you compromise within yourself to be married to somebody who doesn't always hold all the same values that you hold. And I thought the moral and ethical questions that are raised in this book were fascinating. I loved how, like, this book is not completely true. Obviously, it's fictionalized, but it just takes like well-known historical moments in both Laura and George Bush's lives and like places them in the story to like, sort of centers the story around that, but then all like the little details are different. And so I thought it was fascinating to see how these major life events would change a person's marriage. Because I read the Evangelicals recently, there was a long 100-page chapter just on George W. Bush and his, the fact that he was born again and, his relationship with the Evangelicals during his presidency. And that comes into play a little bit in this novel. So I thought those connections were really fascinating. And then I've also started reading A Promised Land by Barack Obama. And so there's some discussion of he and Michelle's marriage early days and how she was not interested in his political ambitions. And in this story, obviously this young woman, let me see if I can remember her name, Alice Lingwell, I think, Lingren, something like that was her name, but it's Blackwell is the name instead of Bush. So Alice Blackwell is her name. And she is not interested in politics either, and in fact doesn't want him to pursue this political career because she doesn't think that he's particularly suited to it. And so that was really interesting. So, and on top of all of like sort of the interesting backstory that I'm interested in because I'm interested in American presidents and politics and things like that, it's just a really compelling narrative. Like, it's just a good story. And so I sat down and read 400 pages of this yesterday and finished this novel. So definitely recommend, if any of those things sound interesting to you, I definitely recommend this book. There was some shocking moments for me in this and some things that I had to look up to see if they were true or not. And so, yeah, it's just a fascinating, interesting, thought-provoking, fun read. And so today I'm going to be focusing more on nonfiction stuff. I do have a short story to read in my short story collection, Daddy by Emma Cline. I'll be reading a short story in this today so I can check in with Sean. I'll be reading The Color of Law today. So yeah, and I don't know what quite else what I'll be getting up to, but I will let you know. Hey there, it's Monday, the last day of the MidMonth Book Bash, and I have been doing a lot of reading. I haven't been finishing anything, but as I expected, because I'm reading so many books at once, my page count is up there, so I'm over 1,100 pages already, and it's just Monday morning, so I'm definitely going to reach my 1,200 page goal for the readathon. And I have also met some of the prompts of the bingo board challenge from Doris. So for a book with red on the cover, I have been reading The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. This is a buddy read with Britta Bowler. We have our first check-in today on the first 3 chapters. And this is definitely showing me some information that I didn't know before. So the subtitle on this is, A Forgotten History of How Our Government Segregated America. So yeah, this has definitely shown me some information that I did not know previously as to how housing segregation in particular worked. Lest you think it was something that was done at the state level or the local level, No. These were federal government policies that started this whole thing off. And that it's really discouraging and depressing to read about, but also super informative and important information to know. So reading that one, I've also been reading in the Book Naturalist Book Club for book for February, which is The Home Place, Memoirs of a Colored Man's Love Affair with Nature by J. Drew Lanham. This is J. Drew Lanham's memoir of growing up in South Carolina and what his home means to him in terms of being a place, the people that were there, the environment, the animals, the wildlife, everything. It's beautifully written. I'm about 50 pages into it so far, just reading the first part of this for our check-in next Saturday, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love this cover, and yeah, just everything about it so far is just right up my alley. Loving that. And then yesterday I picked up this book that was on my old TBR that I'm trying to work through. This is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a YA fantasy. I am about halfway through this one, and maybe I will finish this today. We shall see. So this is a book about werewolves, basically, and a young adult love story. And it is not necessarily my thing, but it's easy enough to read, and it definitely is a page turner. So probably will continue on with this. I'm already halfway through at this point, so might as well finish it up. Anyway, that's what I'll be up to today. The next presidential biography I need to read. Oh, it is a chunk or two. So I just wanted to wrap up my mid-month book bash vlog here because I have finished another book. I finished Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the first book in a duology. It's a young adult fantasy about a young couple who fall in love, and one of them is a werewolf. And yeah, it was not my favorite. I can't really recommend this book. It was just unbelievable and silly, and yeah, not great. So, but I finished it, so I'm counting it for a book off my ancient TBR. So I did want to flip you around and show you my bullet journal page for the weekend. Okay, so you can see that I completed my bingo card. I got all the spaces, and I just wanted to point out that there were a couple of them missing. Red on the cover, that was The Color of Law that I'm reading still. And poem, I read, Bert at Pastori Time posted a poem on Instagram that I read last night. So I did a coverall on my bingo board, and my goal had been to read 1,200 pages over the 4 days, but I actually ended up reading more than 1,350 pages. So definitely a success that way. I completed 5 books total. So all the books in this list that have a pink dot beside them, I completed this weekend. Not that I started them all this weekend, but I completed them all this weekend. So that was really great. I read in every book that I planned to, and I made really good progress, and it was just a success. So thank you, Doris, again for, thinking up this idea for the mid-month book bash and hosting it. And yeah, I look forward to the one for next month, I should say. And I will talk to you all again real soon. Bye.